Travel is more than just ticking off countries. It's about the people, the culture, the food, the moments. I'm Pippa Hudson, and on Wonder the World, I invite you to join me every week as we explore destinations both near and far, with the help of fellow adventurers who share their unique travel stories. Listen to my podcast wherever you get them.
The future of African infrastructure today, 7:02, live from the Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium South Africa 2025 with Infrastructure South Africa.
My guest is Tsakani Manyike, who's the acting head of infrastructure at IDC. And Tsakani joins me right now in our makeshift studio here at the Century City Conference Center. Thanks for joining us, good say. Welcome to 702. I hope you're well.
All right, I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me, Thabo. And good morning to the listeners.
It wouldn't be complete, right, without IDC being here, because you are very critical, especially as far as investment is concerned on infrastructure. But maybe let's start right there. What is it that you do for someone? I doubt they'd be hearing for IDC about IDC for the first time, but just generally the core of what IDC does and funds.
All right, so the IDC, an 85-year-old wholly government-owned development finance institution. Our mandate is really to support industrialization in the country. So that has been our mandate since we have been established in 1940 thereabout. So we continue to carry that mandate, and we do that in different sectors, from agro-processing to chemicals, to manufacturing, to mining, energy, and infrastructure, which we are going to talk about today. So that has been our mandate, and we also stimulate economic growth, and really by fostering inclusivity, in terms of bringing in those that were previously disadvantaged and excluded from participating in the, economy of the country.
And those projects, they can move, like I said earlier on, from basic services projects to huge catalytic energy water projects. Where would your limits be? Where do you say this is beyond us? Or where do you say we can't fund you, Thabo, because you want to open a cell phone shop? We don't touch that stuff. It's way too little.
Yeah. No, I think for us, to the extent that a project falls within our mandate, as I've, mentioned, we do fund. Our limit is 1 million rand, and we can go all the way up. So what we're looking for really is entrepreneurs that do have dreams, that do have ideas, that wants to, contribute to the economic growth of our country.
And those entrepreneurs, I would assume they could also participate in the PPPs.
Yes, most definitely. I think we know that the private sector plays a very important role in really getting the infrastructure going and the economy going, really. So to the extent that they want to participate in this relationship or partnership with government, we would gladly support that. And we've seen that in different sectors in the infrastructure space.
And your role here, as a government entity, is very critical. Do you at times partner with other agencies outside South Africa for a specific project?
Yes, most definitely. I think our investment philosophy is that we do not want to take the risk all by ourselves. We prefer to share the risk. So when we participate in a project, would like to syndicate and would like to bring in other financiers to come and take the risk with us. And we've done that numerous times, even here in the country, where we participate alongside the likes of DBSA, the commercial banks, the AFDBs of this world, the IFCs, and many other multilateral development banks.
Before I say goodbye to you, at the end of the conference, what do you hope to get?
I think for us, would like to see government taking action, really showing some political will in really turning the country into a construction site, as we've heard from the President as well as the Minister of Public Works, and really take a stance, in desiring to create infrastructure, because that drives economic growth, it drives industrialization, and it also brings about inclusivity.
I'm just wondering, because there may be people with some questions and thinking that what you invest, do you get return on investment? Percentage-wise, I know I'm putting you in a corner, but yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that, our core mandate is about, development return. That's the first thing that we look for. Yeah. But obviously we have to be sustainable in how we then, deploy our capital. Because at the end of the day, we raise capital in the debt capital markets. So we need to pay back what, has been lent to us. So we have to do that in a sustainable way. Hence, we look for projects that have an economic merit. It doesn't have to be highly profitable, but it has to have, there has to be a business case, an economic merit to it.
What do I need to have in order to qualify for a project? Assuming 5 million rand to 10 million rand. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm listening to 702 right now, and I'm hearing Tsakani mentioning all these things. What do I need to have? What does my company need? How many years must have it been in existence before I can knock on your door?
So in terms of what you require, I think for us is you need to have a business plan. That proves bankability for what you want to do. In most cases, we, are approached by people who do not have a business plan. They tell you they have an idea. It's in their head. So it has to be, demonstrated in paper. And we also need to see some market studies that you have done, that there is really a market for your product, and you will be able to sell. How are you going to go to the market? And we need to, see some projections, financial projections, which are based on realistic, estimates and assumptions. Based on that, the other things are just administrative, really. But the business plan and supported by a financial focus, that's key for us.
I assume your website would have all that information nonetheless.
It does have all the information. We also do have what we call a business plan guidelines, which really, guides people in terms of how they need to go about preparing a business plan.
Critical projects that you are looking at funding right now?
We are looking at projects, across different sectors. We've got water projects that are coming up in support of government initiatives. We've got transmission, projects that we're looking at. All of these are in support of, government initiatives, including the border post, program that the Home Affairs is running. We are really looking at, those infrastructure projects.
It's been great chatting to you. Thanks for making time. I know you need to go back in there, and the President is quite busy. Thanks for making time to speak to us. Really appreciate it, Mr. Tsakani Manyike, Acting Head of Infrastructure at IDC.